that perfectly. Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Um, yeah, yo, we just talking about normcore, the approach, like why we switching,
Sure.
why we're even thinking about it. Um, I have a scene with us like jumping on the riders and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a good time to run that.
Go
But
ahead.
yeah, but to finish up the point, I'll say, um, the model in normcore, like I actually kind of like it because it's very like specific on like what data is there and what can be changed.
Hmm.
And it's not like a struct that like doesn't persist. Um, because like sometimes like we send input and we have to formulate a struct and we have to send it in the photon way, and it has to
Yeah.
get to its destination and we have to set it through RPCs, and there's like a lot of chain of command stuff that we
Yeah.
have to go through that we kind of don't have to do here. We just have to
Hmm.
define our data like very clearly. Like that's like
That's
the
right.
harder part, is like it has to be well defined, our data model. But once we have that and some functions to modify that data, it's like that's all we have to do, and we don't have to do RPCs.
Yeah.
It's just we have our data and we have these functions that we call them. And
Yeah.
yeah, like it seems like a really simple approach. I think there's a lot of ways it could go funky, to your point, like just making sure we do ownership right and like all of that, like which some of which I've ran into already with the car. Like you have to own everything in the hierarchy. So like you have to own the real time view and then the real time transform separate to
Yeah.
own the physics over it. But like just like little stuff like that has been kind of annoying. But like in general, I was shocked that I was able to do this in a week and a
Yeah.
half. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Thinking about
shocking part.
normcore, it's like pretty quick to set up, but diving deeper into it takes more time because there's so little documentation of it,
Exactly.
and yeah, it's so niche. Like it's just not a well known or like well documented thing to use,
Yes.
and like
It is, yeah.
we don't know what problem we're gonna run into later on using this, like because so few people have done it.
So that's actually a really good point. I was thinking about this today, kind of in the weekend. I forgot to talk about it with you, but like, as far as making a switch to normcore, I think the big question that we just need to ask ourselves, to your point, Casey, we don't know what we don't know about normcore, right? And so I think what we have to do, and what we have to be absolutely comfortable with, is what is the version of this game that if we just hit the limit and literally can't do anything else because the net code doesn't allow it, we're not smart enough to figure it out. Like, what is that? Because I think the problem with Photon is that a core component of the game, like the corest of core component of the game, like driving physics, is struggling. Like it's just like, and it does, and it seems to be a network problem because to your point of just doing one vehicle script over here and then just swapping it over here seems to just kind of more or less completely stabilize the thing. So it doesn't necessarily seem like a physics problem. It seems like some weird thing where physics meets network. And so that is kind of what's like leaning me towards like, okay, this is fine. Like, let's do it, or let's at least definitely try it. I think the thing that we need to be comfortable with is that there's a real chance that all that Get Set Go ends up being is just like this car physics sandbox where like you throw shit on these cars and it changes some things about the cars, and these like parts are fun to look at, and maybe we throw some shit in there for you to fuck around with, and you can do that on a bunch of different maps. And that is like the majority of what Get Set Go could be, until we maybe figure out how to do some things that are more complex, because to your point, we'll have to figure it out. Like we'll be the ones having to do probably the legwork.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. Like this whole unexplored area of like, hey, we're focusing right now on this car and maybe over indexing on this car because we want it to be stable. And yet at the same time, there is still customizing, there is still combat. Like the biggest reason why I was also and still have like some amount of respect for Photon is the fact that like lag compensation is like a first class citizen. Like it's a hard problem as we see, but like at least for like things like projectiles and hitboxes, which we may want to do. And again, we're not doing an FPS like that, but it's more if we want to even increase the speed of physics to a point where we can maybe have projectiles with our vehicles, right? Or something. There's like some built-in things over there to make that easier, right? Whereas over here, I don't see anything for that. That's like a purely, we'll have to figure out anything that runs into lag compensation or having to deal with that outside of the bounds of what this magical system, this magical black box does. Like we literally have to figure that out. And so that was my initial hesitation with Normcore. It's like it's sounds too good to be true. And I didn't even want to try it, right? Because it sounds too good to be true. Like these docs are sparse. These are not a lot of examples. It sounds too good to be true. But in running to this issue with Photon, the like mature solution, I'm just like, okay, let me lean on my technical understanding of the fucking internet. And like these people are taking steps, even in terms of how they're sending information over the internet, that it's just more efficient for VR specifically. So maybe it is a magical black box. So when we try it out and the fact that it's kind of more stable and we could do it in a week, it gives me hope that like, hey, like maybe this is a good solution for us, even with these potential challenges. Just because it's very clear, it's MVC, and there's really one way to do it. You have a model, you have a view, you have a controller, and they give us these three things. Um, in Photon, it's like you could shoot yourself in the foot a lot of different ways. They give you like a Swiss Army knife, and they're like, have at it. And maybe we need prior expertise and understanding to really maximize that solution. So I also look at it in terms of like our team composition and like, again, like if in 2 months we had to do the dream scenario, like what could we use and what could get us there the fastest? That's what I lean on because these are just tools for us to do what we need to do. And so, um, yeah, why I wanted this sandbox up was just again to have an example of like, hey, this is how we can get it into our game working. Um, I'll turn my OBS on. Like how we can get it into our game working. Uh, and so yeah, I have a scene where like if you spawn in, like a car spawns with you and you can jump on the car, same as like our existing vehicle interaction system. And
Hmm.
then you're just here and it's the normal sandbox. And I'm thinking, hey, if we can just replicate what we have in the pre-alpha sandbox here in like let's say the next 2 weeks, if we really just focus all hands and try to get this done, everything that we already have, a grab system, parts, customizing into the context of normal, which is again copy pasting some local logic and modifying any netcode RPC logic. Um, I think we can do that. And if we did that and we felt really stable about it, I think then we could start to think about this game that we want to make down the stretch for this alpha. And that's my hope with Normcore is that it just makes this easy problem and we can actually rely on this black box because the more I look at their website and the more I see the case studies and the more I actually speak to these salespeople, a lot of people are using Normcore behind the scenes. And when I play those games, it is pretty fucking smooth. So maybe there is something to it.
Mm-hmm.
It is very optimized for VR. That's one thing I do know about it. It's designed
Yeah.
very specifically for VR.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the components.
Yeah. And it feels that way, kind of. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, I again,
And
I,
if you want,
Go ahead, KT.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. I was saying, if you want example of character setup in Normcore, I do have a project for that we can look at. That's like functional.
Hell yeah. Like even that gives me like more like confidence about it. The fact that you've worked in this and like again, it's not a perfect solution, but like it did work for you. And I think that's
Hmm.
I need that stability, that sense of someone being like, yeah, it worked for you. Like and so like this is the
Yeah.
same vehicle, not bouncing, fucking driving, like pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Um and we
That's
have
why
voice chat.
I've been saying, like, there are certain aspects of Normcore that's just there. Like, it's like you said, it's too good to be true. But it
Yeah.
is there. Like when I tried it, it's like when I tried to grab something in the scene, or just like try to um move, even like multiple people grabbing the same thing, like it handles it pretty seamlessly. Like it doesn't do any of the weird like authority shit. It just like it just handles it
Mm-hmm.
out of the box.
Exactly.
It's very, very unreal, like when I tried it first. But my problem is just, well, not problem, but like going diving deeper into this, like more problems emerged, and I sort of had to like just figure it out myself. There's not much help that I can get from other places.
Right. Well, so that's where I'm like, I think what we need to do is then just be really comfortable with, I think, only being able to work with what Normcore is good at, and very, very basic things beyond that. Because I think what you were trying to do, KT, is like, you were doing kind of a complex game that had rules and a source of truth and like like data. And
Yeah.
if we avoid that for now, and for if we assume that if we have to avoid that for the lifetime of the game, if that just had to be the case, if we're comfortable with that, like in the fact that the game really consists of like this sandbox of toys that all interact with each other, and those interactions are just synced, then I actually think if we keep things really simple in that way, there's a path through. Like to where people can still have games that they can play and like things that they can do, but it's under the guise of like a sandbox that's, that kind of sits on the surface level of what Normcore is best suited towards. Because like I can see. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point that you just brought up. So like all the games that I found or like I've seen using Normcore that worked really well are the ones that don't have a lot of like UIs, stats, and like fucking like just what normal games have, but rather like a sort of crazy sandboxy, like physics-based interaction, basically sandbox. It's like tossing things around, hitting people, all these crazy physics. Like it handles it so seamless. Like it's Normcore just does that so well. But when it comes to like data syncing, it's a fucking mess. I'm telling you. Like if you want to sync, like for example, like health, if you want to make a FPS out of it, man, like it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you want like health bars, if you want like bullet that hits you and it takes health away from you and it that sort of things. It's gonna be kind of hard, but anything physics, it handles it very well.
Yeah. So I think there's like, yeah, I think essentially, as long as we're comfortable with that, which I think in many ways we are, we just sort of have to hone in on that and just accept that. I think out of the gate. And I personally, if you ask me, I'm more than willing to do that. I'm completely fine with like if there was never combat in this game ever, like I would be okay with that. If there was never like any of that shit, or like an actual game mode in the game theoretically, like I would be okay with it. It's just like
Yo,
yeah, go ahead.
dude, I just thought of something. So what if we make so a lot of combat that we saw in other games are like stats based, right? It
Hmm.
takes health away from you, shit like that. But I'm just literally thinking about Smash, like Smash.
Yeah.
Like what if we make the combat physics driven, like more physics driven, like the more hits you take, the stronger physics play an effect on you. Like you fly further away, and the death is only determined if you like fall to certain areas of the map. So we orient the entire combat system around physics because that's what Normcore handles really well. If we do that, then I see a world where we can just play with physics, like the forces in which the characters are pushed when it comes to combat. Like right, the more hits you take, like Smash Bros or like
Hmm.
Smash Legends, like
Hmm.
games like that. Like you fly further away,
Yeah, yeah.
and it takes you to places that you can't come back from, and that's how you die and respawn. Like there's not even like a death thing. It's more
Hmm.
like a teleportation, right?
Yeah.
Like a
No,
delayed teleportation.
I think that there's like I think what yeah, to your point basically. We treat if we treat like the game in its simplest like sense and that everything essentially just relies on physics to some extent. Like the cars move around, they bump into each other, like players move around, they can bump into each other. Um and like that is the root of sort of everything, then I think we can create enough scenarios where people could like abstract into combat and things like that, or like into things that feel like that. I guess in that sense, like if we made a, I guarantee you, if we made a map maker or something like that, somebody would come up with a game mode that like felt like some sort of versus combat mode, um, because they put you on a disc that's like 100 feet up with no edges, and if you fall off, you die, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not like us not even adding anything else into it, right? Like, I think as long as we're comfortable with like just us not having access to these more complex like game systems that are more data oriented, uh, just out of the gate and maybe never, uh, then I think I don't have any qualms over the decision to move at all. And to be honest, I think what we're weighing up is, do we have access to all this potential interesting game mechanics that require these extra features that Photon has? Or do we want driving to feel good and stable? And it's like,
I think we have to.
yeah, I think it's like it's like night and day. It's like the
Yeah,
easiest choice
yeah.
in the world. Like it's like,
It's a very
Yeah.
easy call. I think the one thing though, having actually wrote something
yeah,
in Normcore now versus like where I was before,
yeah,
having just read the docs, I think it is very data oriented. I think we can actually get away with more here on the data side and achieve more than we could in Photon. Like in Photon, there's no concept of a database. There's nothing that stores any data.
hmm,
Like that's just not a thing that they will let you do. They will let you send data anywhere. They will let you check who owns this data, who's the input authority, all that good shit. But you cannot save a fucking thing. Like there's no database. And that's actually a crazy concept. I didn't realize how difficult everything is without just a central store of data. Even though the syncing of data is kind of, it's weird to understand at first here. Um, it is written and it is like very verbose our data. And I think we can actually achieve more with the Normcore data store data model, how they do it,
Mhm.
in terms of building a bigger game.
hmm,
Again, those things like fast-paced combat, we may have to just lean on physics, um, more so than like uh, a competitive system with lag compensation. But I'm also like wondering why are there so many fucking esports written in normcore if they're not able to achieve this? So I really do feel like there is a world where we can achieve everything that we do in Photon. It's just a different paradigm. But starting from a stable vehicle, we can probably get there quicker because we're just not solving like little problems that have already been solved. Like we're leaning on technology to solve it for us.
Which I totally believe. You know, like I think that it is possible for us to do it. I guess I'm going with like worst case scenario, like because if it's too good to be true, and like if we can't figure it out and we don't know, like then are we happy still? And I still think we are.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, good thing is a lot of the rabbit holes that I know we're gonna run into, I already ran into it, so I can probably offer some insights on if when things get wrong or when things get kind of crazy, I can like point back to my old project and be like, okay, this is when it happened for me, and this is how I solved it.
I think that's dope.
And that's mostly when it comes to like data. Nothing physics is like weird for me when I worked on my old shit. It's mostly data syncing, make sure everybody sees the same thing. So one thing I think Normcore is not that good at is like syncing shit. So like it updates shit pretty smoothly for each client, but you know sometimes you see different things on different clients. Like I see like the score being 3 and he sees the score being 4, and it's like it's smooth for both of us. So yeah, that's normcore. But yeah, it can be solved. There's a way.
Also, yeah, we do get some support. Having talked to like one of the guys there, Jason, like they do have like, again, down to the wire. And again, we're probably not going to need to do this ever, but like there is support that we can lean on. Obviously, I think all of these solutions have that. And again, it's a question of budget and all that shit. But I mean, it gives me hope that there is somebody we can talk to if shit does hit the fan in like production. Because again, I'm like cool with these playtests, but then like there's the world where like this game is running when we go to sleep, and that is what keeps me up at night, is like that world and not having super clarity on it. So even the switch to normcore is like self-motivated for some reasons, because I don't want to run servers. I don't think we should have to really do this game properly. And if we do, it should be a very managed, nice experience. So if we do have to go dedicated servers to get really big rooms, like we have that flexibility over here, we can host things ourselves. It's just like, I don't feel like we'll need to for a while. And that's like a good feeling. Like it feels like this makes things just a little more efficient. I'm just looking at bandwidth. We're definitely using way less bandwidth to run at the same 120 frame or 120 hertz physics. So like just those things are like a good sign. It's just, yeah, like porting these systems, I think is going to give us our first real vibe check into like how long this takes, how quick can we understand this new world and port our old existing code. But yeah.
Yeah,
I
also,
remember.
like,
yeah, go.
quick question on the with the cloud, the actual like normal cloud infrastructure, all that kind of shit. So do they have their own like? Okay, if let's say we went with the structure of like, we have our own rooms that we set up. We have like NA East, whatever, you know, yada yada. You can join these lobbies so that people filter in, right? We don't have like matchmaking.
Yeah, we have to come up with that ourselves. That's another thing that kind of sucks over here.
But is that like our own Kubernetes, or is that like theirs that we just...
So if we ever ran it private, it's our own Kubernetes, and they just help us set it up, and we run it, and we manage it. But technically right now, it's on their Kubernetes. And they have different tiers. So right now we're free tier. We can't get more than 10 concurrent users, and we can't be in a room longer than an hour. The second we choose to pay the 49 a month or whatever it is, and we can also get the startup extra credits from Jason, which is like actually a ton of bandwidth. We get like 3 terabytes of bandwidth, and then we can have unlimited rooms, and they can live for how long, and we can persist shit. So like we can leave cars in a room, and then you sign back into that same room code. Cars are still in the room, still how the state is. So we're obviously going to be there at that $50 mark, and I don't think we're going to have to go above that until we raise money, which is really good. I think like just knowing like this game can run ad nauseum for $50 a month, I think is going to give us a lot of just wiggle room and confidence, just in terms of like just our approach to this. So I think there's a lot of reasons like outside of even just the stability of like why we should switch to this. But yeah, I feel like it all doesn't. It means nothing if we can't write what we've already written in this. Like it's all just a fantasy unless we import the existing code relatively quick and show that like, hey, like it does work and it works pretty much the same or better than what we have.
When it comes to parenting like riders to the car, like what does it look like for Normcore? Have you like looked into it?
Yeah, so when we first tested, we just parented the person to the car directly, like your local
Yep.
player, and that was fine. But
That
right
was
now
fine. Like no jitter.
it well, so you don't bounce, but you still lag like behind the car as the rider just a little bit. So like when I brake, like you catch up to yourself, and when I speed up, you like trail behind yourself, but you don't bounce up and down at all. Everyone is like stable because the car is stable. So that's pretty good, and that's where we were last week. This week, I just rewrote the vehicle interaction stuff, so you can jump and hit the collider, and it'll create the local stabilizer for you. And that system works exactly the same as it does in Photon. Um, the only thing that changed is like the authority checking. Everything else is still the exact same code from the original one. It's the same vehicle input handler on the vehicle, same vehicle settings, like pretty much the same shit that we kind of know about this vehicle persists, other than every authority check is just through a different system and there's no network objects. So if we look at the car, all this fucking talking I'm doing, if we look at the car, yeah, it's pretty much there's a real-time view and it shows like all the components underneath it. So we have like basically real-time views for the wheels. And then there's 3 components on it. There's a real-time transform for the physics syncing, the vehicle script itself, and the vehicle interaction system script. So real-time transform, just we sync almost everything. We interpolate, and this is set to clear ownership while sleeping, but we hard code it to maintain ownership while sleeping because basically someone has to own the car for physics to be simulated, because we don't have the dedicated version of Normcore, and we won't until we run the private version, right? So the way we're doing this is someone has to own a car even if it's not being driven. It doesn't mean that they're the driver. They just have to own the car to simulate its physics. So yeah, that's that. And everything else is kind of the same. This is the same vehicle script with settings. Only things that's changed is there's no longer a vehicle input handler on it. Like we put that on the player themselves and we connect that to the vehicle. It's just better. And then we have a steering wheel transform for that. Vehicle interaction, exact same shit. Pretty much the same script. So yeah, that's the car. It's the same car, pretty much. It's the code that's different. Our local player, it's pretty much the same. It's a different hardware rig. There's no more runner. It's just these 2 real-time things. And your vehicle input handler.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask, in this paradigm, could you like actually parent the network player to like the car?
So that is what we can do because the network player has the real-time transform.
Oh,
Um, well, technically, because this transform doesn't have a rigid body, yes, we could play. We could just parent this network player to the car. Um, but if it had a rigid body, we can't.
right.
Now, why would this have a rigid body? Yeah, it shouldn't. So, to your point, we can. This local player, I did just try to parent to the car. That worked, but obviously it's bumpy. I think if we parent the network player, then yeah, maybe that person would just stay in place how they should. So, that's a good
But
point. I think we should try that.
Yeah, like on each
doesn't
client's version of that
Hmm.
person, basically.
Yeah,
doesn't the network player follow the local player?
it does.
Yeah, but like,
So
but my thought
But it
is like,
doesn't follow its like parenting. It just follows its position.
I mean, wait. I thought the network player follows the local player. So even if you parent the network player, that's only gonna create some problem, right? Because it's like moving the parent space of the network player, but the transform is still following the local player, and you're not moving the local player at all. The local player is still like its own thing. It's not the other way around. Like the local player doesn't follow the network player.
I know. I guess what I'm saying is, even in any sort of world where we do like the riding prediction, right? You're taking control of the network proxy and like moving it in some sort of way that supplements the movement of what it's already receiving, right? Or
Yeah.
what I should say is you're moving it beforehand and then it's getting supplementary movement from whatever player it is. You're basically saying like
Yes.
take this player's already movement and then add this much to it always. I was just curious that maybe like having the network player of that person's network player be parented to that other client's car. I wonder if that supplies that like initial offsetted movement already. That's what I'm curious about. Because an
We can try
object
it.
always is,
Yeah, that'd be a great test.
you know, enforces a parent-child relationship. Hoy! Jesus, Jiminy Christmas.
Wait, then can you pull up the stabilizer? I just wanna look at it
Whew!
one more time.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Are you feeling better at work? You were sick.
Yeah. I had a head cold this weekend. I think I've kicked pretty much the last of it today. The problem is when I get sick and I like don't work out probably like this was pretty severe because I didn't work out for like close to 5-6 days, but I get really stiff and
Oh,
I don't know if I pulled my back in my sleep or like my back just cramped up. Because I also get like a lot of inflammation, but I've had this fucking back cramp for like 2 days, and I thought I worked it out just fine. And then in the gym today, I was just trying to stretch out my back and do some like light back work, trying to just keep it moving. You know, motion is lotion type shit. I just pulled it straight up again, like worse, and I feel like an old man.
Nah, bro. Just hydrate. You'll be back.
Yeah,
You'll be
hydrate,
back.
nitrogen, hydrate.
You'll be right. Hydrogen.
Get some potassium in here real quick. Oh, man.
can you scroll down a little? Handle. What if we just, instead of doing like this smooth lerp stabilizer, we just do like a hard set position every frame? Maybe it keeps up with the vehicle better.
So that is a good point, KT. That I also like the smoothing buffer probably doesn't help the like rider, you know, because obviously it.
Yep.
But I think we would still see some lag behind. Always, you would. So we.
Because as long as you're doing something every frame, it's like it's not the same as like parenting, right? Because parenting you just like move together,
Yeah.
but this is like trying to keep up with something.
Yeah.
So I think for like a really seamless sort of deal, it has to be parenting. There's no other way around.
So actually, here's the thing. I think the smoothing buffer is genius for the client's experience of driving and riding. I think it handles things like bumps and like the changes in rotation in a way that it feels nice. And I think that is something I would love to be able to keep. Just that experience. Because parenting, you know, you're gonna feel every little like tweak and like
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And it's this network player that maybe it may be applying something on every frame to the network player is how you have to do it. Like you do some like delta where it is just you're just adding like a constant value to every single value that you just received and just multiply it by 10 or something, or like by 3.
Yeah, like a prediction almost.
Yeah, because it's like the one thing that was encouraging was that, I mean, I don't know why I should say this is encouraging. Maybe this is obvious, but like when I was watching the clips of, you know, like 5 people riding on the same car, which I think all had different internet connections, right? They were all like following a similar path. You know, it's not like
the same speed.
they were. It's not like they weren't like one was like suddenly jutting over here and like trying to come back. It's like they were clearly like lagging behind in the right way. So it makes me think like, well, couldn't you just be somewhat safe in like just taking all of those values where it's going and just like move it. But to that point, I think it would be the same shit where you're like tick back a little bit, and that is where I think parenting, to your point, KT, might be the solution, because you're visually you're always going to look, sexy.
Yeah, like the stabilizer works well for the local rig. I think the problem is just the network rig and the local rig. It takes time to follow up. Like, this is not even like a vehicle problem. This is, we are moving the local rig too fast. And the network rig is like struggling to catch up.
That too, honestly.
Wait, if that's the case, there's no solution to this.
Well, no. I don't necessarily.
Well, I mean, the solutions people have are to like use more information to like better predict, again, prediction, where this thing should be, and then to update it beforehand. So it's like compensating for the fact that we know everyone has a round trip time, and we know like what the delay of this information is relative. So like my ping is 40 milliseconds. Well, this is half the round trip, this delay. Well, people factor that in and calculate where this thing should be by the time you receive it, and then try to like estimate and put it into right place.
But like Rourke said, like these people in the car had different internet connections, like different latencies, but they sort of follow the car with the same speed. Like there's not a single player who's like lagging behind more than other players. They're like following this car in a pretty uniformed way, right? That makes me think maybe it's not the round trip thing or the latencies problem. It's the update frame. Like it's the way that the network rig is following the hardware rig that's causing this. It's not related to internet. It's more related to like frame, like following something by frame. It's like a Unity thing, not an internet thing.
I mean, I guess it could be like, hey, we just interpolate and learn better, but it's more like once we start moving, we can see the discrepancy that is always there. That like, oh, your network player is following your local player. Like if you saw
Yeah.
me just driving just now, like you see my other body come out of my body. Like that's the
Hmm.
difference that this thing having to go through the internet is like that's the difference we're seeing. So
Mm.
it is more exaggerated for some people. I think to your point, like parenting solves this because it tells everybody that these two things move exactly the same. So if there is some way that we get that, I think that's the ideal way. But I just parented and I still see my body like kind of a little bit behind me. It seems a little better, but it's still lagging. So I
Yeah.
think it's like to your point, like the stabilization buffer, like may need input about what velocity do I have to do this at. Um, I don't know. Like I don't know if we need to just factor in more information to do it better.
Yeah, I can. If that's the case, maybe I can update this stabilizer to taking vehicle information. Because we never tried it before.
Yeah.
Just adding
Um,
adding prediction to this. Maybe it works. Maybe it solves the issue.
I don't.
which is a good. I mean, it may not. I one thing though,
Yeah.
because in all this, I know I did want to get your locomotion side of things because I don't think we factored that into like this, and I don't really want to change the subject, but like, um, I don't think we talked about that. Like, how do you
Hmm.
feel about that in normcore? Just given like just all that we talked about. Like, how do you feel about the hands?
Uh, no, I feel good about it. I feel like hand wise, I'm not really worried because first it is local, and second, it doesn't rely on any of the photon stuff to operate. Like in fact, it was a bit of a more of a struggle. It's more like a skill issue, but like for me, it's harder to integrate it into photon um, than thinking about normcore. I feel like it's not gonna be that big of a deal because it handles grab like authority shit way easier than photon.
Okay, lit. Yeah, okay. That's also a good point. But yeah, as far as the stabilizer, I think there is a way that like, and again, because there is a unified data model, what I like is that I've only used this vehicle model for both the vehicle system and the vehicle interaction system. So they're both referring to the same vehicle model, which I think makes things a little simpler if you really think about it. Like everything is using the same data. I think
Mhm.
this same vehicle model data could be passed to the stabilizer. Now that would make it not local, it would be like a real-time component with this vehicle model, right? But that stabilizer could just inherit this vehicle information and maybe,
Yeah,
it just uses the velocity to do something or
like
something else.
even if it does, it's applying this on the local thing. It still takes time for the network player to catch up. Like I feel like what this will do is it will move the player like forward, and you will see like in the local version, like in your own view, like you're gonna move forward more than you want to, and the network player is still like lagging behind to the normal position that you would be in the previous local player view.
Mhm.
Like there's still like a discrepancy between the local and network. This doesn't like modifying the stabilizer doesn't solve that part because this is applied on the local things, not on the network avatar.
Right. So this is also why I'm thinking like I don't think adding vehicle input to the because it's like it all still bakes into the same concept, which is like what we're not thinking about a character syncing with a vehicle per se. I mean we are, but what we're really wanting to make sure is that this little avatar thing that's moving really fast is like essentially like moving with this like moving object correctly. Because on the clients it's obviously fine because the vehicle and the client's experience, they're running on the same time frame.
Yeah.
Essentially. It's just the other way around where things get a little weird. And that's where I'm like, it's kind of a simple problem, at least in my eyes, and I could just be getting it wrong. To me, it's just a question of like, do we know the position of the thing that we're trying to 100% sync up to, right? And can we have this one, can we add this component to the network rig where like its primary way, when I'm riding a car, the network rig primarily now is following this car and it's stuck to it, right? And then it's gets supplemental like transforms from the hardware rig. It's almost like we turn it around. Because I think right now what we do is that the network rig listens to the hardware rig first and like updates itself first. And then we're like kind of considering the problem of like, okay, now once we get that hardware rig information, let's like move the network rig to like catch up to this vehicle. And to your point, KT, the network rig is not even catching up to the hardware rig anymore, right? But if we flip the schedule around now and say, no, let's take the like network rig and say it only follows this car, and then any information we receive from the hardware rig, if it's different, we apply a delta to the network rig's position. Like, in the sense that if, like, the hardware rigs, like, if we can understand that it's, like, moving to the left and the right, maybe we add player input into that, to your point, Obina. We know the player is moving to the left and to the right because we can read their input. And we, like, then map that onto, like, the change in their position. And then we, like, package that as, like, a delta for changing the network rig that's, like, supplementing it's already, like, how it's following the car. I just way overcomplicated what I was saying, but the point I'm making...
I mean, that sounds like prediction.
I know, but it's like... I feel like what we're trying to do... I mean, I guess it is just prediction, yeah. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's like... I feel like it's simpler than we're making it out to be, but, like... I think it's because we're trying to make this network player catch up. That's the wrong idea. Maybe.
Yeah. But why would it be different for the network player to follow the vehicle versus following the local rig? They run, like you said, they run on the same thing. Like, they're essentially the same.
I mean the other person's vehicle. So for the other clients, right? This person, their vehicle are like we're all in slightly different zones, right? Like, we're not all exactly in the same place. And so if I'm on your client and I'm following your vehicle, whether you're the driver or not, right? It just means by your vehicle is the one on your client. Like, that network player should be in that vehicle's time scenario, right? That network player. So, like, if that network player was parented to that vehicle, let's say, right? Functionally. And then any movements the hardware rig makes, we, like, delta... We basically, like, instead of making that an absolute position, we make it a delta position. So like, we're not syncing the absolute position, we're syncing the change in position. So like, if I move to the left on this car, we can tell the network player to like move left, or like move in this general like vector. But like, its primary way it changes its position in world space is relative to this car. Always. And that could be via a parent, or it could be like a sync, you know, like on every frame or something.
Yeah, it feels
I
like
think
this is something first class that we need to bake into our avatar. Because, like, again, like the capabilities of our avatar seem to be causing us a problem. Because we're like, hey, I just want this thing to follow the local player, right? Until we jump on the car, and then we're like, fuck, I don't want it to do exactly what I designed it to do. But it can't do anything else. There's no other state for it that's like, hey, I'm on car. Maybe I should calculate this delta that Rourke is talking about and send it to my network rig so that it can update itself in the right position.
Yeah. Because
But
remember,
yeah, like we never wrote that.
right? Because remember, the only thing that really matters is the root. Like, that's
Exactly.
the only thing that really matters. All the hand shit in the head and everything like that, that's in local space, you know? And that's perfect, right? Like, that doesn't fucking matter. More or less, right? Because that can be synced, like, regardless of my actual position. It's just that root. That's like and I think that is something that we could, like, to your point a bit of, like, you get on the car, it's like the rules kind of change. And it's like, all right, now this like root thing, you gotta follow this car first. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's like a, you know, to your point, KT, like an every frame like adjustment. And like, and then any like supplementary movement that the player makes, like we create a delta and then like add it to that new like network player's root position. So that it's only ever like moving in its own world, but we still get that change correctly. Now, we might have just reinvented the wheel in terms of how prediction's done, and it's actually way easier than that. But in our somewhat unique use case, I feel like that's the vibes.
Yeah, I think it's a good shot because again, we're just trying to extrapolate and get this person like a little bit further than they are because we notice they're behind. It's not that they're not following at all, they're just behind. And we know this is either our stabilizer or just us not compensating for the speed at which we're moving. And factoring that into like the fact that we're moving faster and transmitting info through the network. So yeah, I mean, we all have like a guess. I think I'm open to new ideas. I'm really open to new ideas on this matter. But honestly, like I'm tolerating it for now. I really think getting all of like a good understanding of like where we don't like this solution just after this talk is also important because I'm like, yeah, there are other things that we want to do that aren't even like that in Photon we can probably do pretty easy to the point like shooting and projectiles and all that good shit. So even to have like a small test for how that's going to work or just an understanding of how it could work, I think is good. But yeah, I think there's a lot of really small edge cases, but some of them might just require us to rewrite like things that we think are pretty internal, like the hardware rig, network rig, to just factor in this info. Because a lot of the time when I watch prediction or extrapolation videos, It's like the issue is you're getting info and then you're trying to make a decision as fast as your frame count allows and send it back. But the network is giving you milliseconds and milliseconds of lag that like you're not accounting for. So you just accounting for those things gets you a lot closer in a lot of instances. So I just think there's a way we could do that. And then also factor in the speed of the vehicle, do this delta stuff. But first, if we feel good about this solution, like that's a problem that we have to solve in both worlds. And it's not an easy problem. So um yeah, I don't know where to go from here now that I've kind of written this thing and we can kind of maybe test it and jump on. But yeah, there are a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, quick question just on normcore in general. Um, I'm still a little confused on like what is the thing that gets like everybody syncs to. So like if I have like if you have ownership over this car, right? And
Yeah.
my car in my scene obviously is synced to that car, right? So every time I receive information, my car gets updated, right? In normcore, is it kind of like sharding, where there's like a like horizontal partition in the database or something, where like I still have my own like version of it, and that's like so like would there be like 10 different versions of my network player on every client that all listen to whoever owns it, like in the same way that a network object kind of works? Or is it more like
Yes.
okay,
So like the network object is like that's the thing about netcode that now having jumped to the third solution,
yeah,
I've seen that it's the same shit. It's all the same shit. This real-time view is just a network object. Um, it's a little smarter in how it gathers components, but still a network object nonetheless. So anytime you see a real-time view, it's just a network object. And like ownership and authority is just saying like, hey, we have 11 copies of these because there's 11 players.
mm-hmm.
But I also have my local copy, which says I'm the owner of all of the copies and they should all listen to my copy. So when I move my copy in my scene, the deltas get calculated, packaged up into a really nice internet package that's custom for VR
Yeah,
and sent. And then we basically only send the deltas of what changed from the owner. And
right,
that's how sync happens internally
right.
via their system. But yeah, it's just like network objects, real time view,
So
network transform, real time transform.
so if I had like, I mean, look, this is more a fuck around and find out than obviously like sage of been able to understand having the answers to the universe. But um, the
Ask away, man.
the, the like it's like a wild burden I'm putting on you right here. But the if we had that like I'm gonna sync this network player, like that change in the paradigm once you get on the car, right? Where this network player is gonna follow this car. Even though, let's say that client doesn't own this car, right? They're receiving info about it themselves, right? So that car is in a slightly different situation than the guy who owns the car, right?
Yes. Yes.
That network player could still potentially follow that version of the car in a predicted fashion.
Yes. But I think and again, this is like this is a pretty deep question into
Yeah.
like how normcore works. And I think the fact that it's basically a real-time database, right? And we're just syncing the delta values in like this persistent connection that we all have to this
Yeah.
database. Um, and so when I change something and the delta is like +5, obviously it's going to take some time to get to you. Um, but internally they do calculate and do some prediction. Like they just don't let us access it at all. It's not like Photon where it's like, and then you have a render method where you could override and tap into this behavior, or you have fixed update network where you apply it. It's more like I am just sending the deltas of what is happening on my local side,
Yeah.
and everyone else will have to follow suit because that's what this black box norm core says. And it'll do it based off of these two things, to my understanding. Once you join, it'll get your ping, and it keeps a global room time that everyone is synced up to. So we no longer have like ticks, we just have a clock that runs. And based off of your ping and this room time, it will predict these deltas and do the nice fun stuff for you. And we kind of just have to trust it. And this is where I didn't want to at first, because I'm like, okay, if something goes wrong, like how the fuck do we do prediction? So far I haven't had to do any prediction, like other than this rider case, which now we're having to figure out. Like we haven't really had to, just for the driver themselves or
Right.
anyone else. Like we no longer snap back off of the car because we're pretty much running a local simulation that is just being synced with everyone else's. It's like a different concept of how to do it. And I think because of that, it's well suited to VR, but also um, maybe when it comes to like how we have to do prediction, we may have to do it in a data oriented fashion so that like maybe everyone is working off of the same data and the same time and we can do something that way. I don't really know, right? This is one of the question marks about this shit. Uh, yeah, not an easy problem, and I don't think I have an answer to your question.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense though.
Some ATV.
All right.
Just thinking about how the network hand, like the hand syncs up to the body of it. Like that's like parenting. And it's like no matter how fast your network body moves, your hand always keeps up. Like there's no like your hand is lagging behind, shit like that. That makes me think maybe we can use the same approach for the body versus the vehicle. We treat the body as a hand of the vehicle. When it gets attached to the vehicle, or when you jump on the vehicle, it becomes like a hand.
And it stuck to their suits, and every time they moved, it was slowly eating through the Kevlar. You can do this here on Earth using what's called diatomation.
Through parenting.
Through parenting. Okay, I was about to ask how. Okay, through parenting. And again, like we're parenting only the network player. That's what we're saying, right?
I mean, currently the local player is parented to the car, right? When you jump on, but the
No,
network
they're
player
parented
is
to the
not.
stabilizer.
And the stabilizer is parented to the, or is like trying to follow the car.
It just tries to
Like-
follow the car, I believe. I
Gotcha.
don't think anything is locally parented, which allows for like the character controller. And I'm also like, this is one thing where I'm like, okay, so sometimes I've observed that the character controller can get in the way of your local experience on the car. The fact that it has a rigid body and it's kind of doing its own thing. Is there a world where like us being locally a kinematic character controller on the car allows us to like parent this whole situation and then it's just a little simpler? Like we can just parent your local player, figure out how to stabilize the camera itself, and parent your network player, and those two things should be perfectly in sync with the car, and then we move through some other non-character controller, like Unity character controller system, and maybe that.
Do you even need to parent the network player if the local player is parented to the car? I feel like at that point, maybe the network player just determines, okay, the local player is not moving, right? Because it's following
It's moving in
a
world
moving
space though.
parent. Oh yeah, so yeah,
That's where I'm like,
so it
that's where
wouldn't
it's
matter.
like, if you turn the network player, if you parent the network player as well, right? And then say now any movements the local player makes, let's apply deltas. Because we know the problem is the local player is parented to a smoothing buffer, which is like not parented to the car. So it's not terrible because the local player is still parented, right? So it's moving like in this local position, right? So we can say anytime that local player moves in that, like, its actual local transforms change, let's apply a delta to the network player and tell it to do the same thing, to add those same values. And if we parent that network player to the car, I feel like that is like that in that world you don't necessarily even really need like prediction in that sense. Like, you kind of just like, you sort of cheat it and like, you know, but it works. I feel like that just kind of works. I don't know.
As long as it works. Wait, but what did you do?
Okay, so what I did was I parented my local player, I turned the character controller off, and I parented my network player as well. And so my network player is still visible, but it is keeping up with my body pretty perfectly right now. But again, I cannot walk. I don't have a character controller. So my thinking is oh shit, okay, this
It's going
just gets
so bad.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's no top
What?
speed, and it just goes
Yeah,
faster.
I think I
and faster.
remember what version of the vehicle you have here.
Yeah, it's just, this shit is wild. I can't reverse. It's so crazy, and it just gets back. Oh, holy shit, bro,
Yeah.
bro. Oh. If I just fucking spit out.
So you're saying it's the character controller that's fucking with the movement on the moving
Well,
platform?
the character controller doesn't allow us to parent the local player. Like, if we parent the local player to the car, character controller loses its shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if we turn that off, we can't move on the car, and no one likes that. So it's like we need a new way that is non-character controller based to move on the car, and then we can do all this parenting shit. The only thing about this parenting shit is like now the camera is like perfectly aligned with the car, and because of that, like it's shaky again,
Yeah.
right? Like when we go over a bump, like I move with the car.
Well, we can
So
always just apply buffer to the camera. Like, that's not an issue.
But wait,
yeah, like that's my hope is like, is there a world where we could like instead
Ha-
of stabilizing your whole body, just stabilize your head in camera view and parent your route still so that everything follows
this
in
is kind
alignment?
of what I don't understand though, because like, how are we able to parent to the smoothing buffer? Because it doesn't have a rigid body, right? That is my assumption. Is that because the fucking smoothing buffer doesn't have a rigid body, we can parent to it and move with the character controller. That's the only reason why I feel like that works.
Then what if we just created like an empty child under the vehicle and parented it to the child?
Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how deep you are in the hierarchy.
As long as there's one
It's
rigid body in the hierarchy.
in the root, yeah.
Yeah.
So the wait, but and you're saying we don't have the smoothing buffer in here right now, right?
We do.
Oh,
But what I just did was I took the local player off of the smoothing buffer.
right.
The code was still there to use it.
Yeah.
I put them on the car, parented them.
Yeah.
I also parented their network player. Um,
Yes.
because like if I run it again without that, I'll just drive normally. You'll see my body, right? Like you'll see my
Mhm.
arms,
Yeah.
and then I'll do this, and then you'll see like, oh, both of my bodies are in sync. I think that's really all we want.
Right. Did you try parenting only the network player to the car?
Yes, I still see it jitter. So like we
Ah,
can try that before I parent
got
everything.
it. Got it. And it like falls behind and shit.
Yeah, I think it might be a little less, but yeah, we'll see. Okay. So this is just regular. You can see like my second body emerge,
Right.
right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm clearly fucking lagging.
Yep. Yeah.
And then cool. So
That's
I'm
a interesting way to test.
right. I'm
No, it's
on the
great actually.
local
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's
stabilizer buffer. So if I just put myself on the car directly and I put my network player on the car, I have to turn this character controller off. But now when I drive, I don't see my second arms.
Right.
Um,
And if you right, so that looks perfect, right? So if you put
then
your
if I just put myself back on this stabilizer buffer, but I can walk around, but I'm not in my body sometimes as I accelerate.
right. Now, I wonder if that
Is the buffer itself? Because I mean, this is a pretty slow speed.
well, okay. To KT's point, no, yeah, that's too slow. That's too slow to be just not being able to catch up with your
Yeah, that's a
rig,
good point.
I
Like,
think that's too slow. So that might be a component of it, but
it's worse. I mean, any motion
is worse.
at all.
yeah,
But the faster I go, the worse.
right. And so
Like,
uh, interesting. Interesting.
Maybe we just can't use a character controller.
yeah, I really think it could just be that simple. Because, like, if there's a world
Yeah.
where there's an on-car character controller that just moves some other way, then we've solved
Or
it.
we just use another like a
Kinematic.
non-character controller movement.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a kinematic controller.
Mhm.
But then at that point, we might as well just use that for the whole game, so that like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean that.
But is there anything that can go wrong with that?
Your shit where you want to like bounce off the ground and stuff with the hands.
Oh yeah, that's some rework.
Wait, what issue?
Like where he
No,
like
just like
grapple.
when
like
if we remove the character controller and replace with something else, then I'm just gonna rework my locomotion stuff.
I mean, okay, so we really just want to walk on the car and be in sync with the car. And it looks like we know how to solve that. But if we solve it that way, it creates a new issue in that we can't move. Movement and locomotion is also in this whole rework, right? We do want to test that. Maybe
Yeah.
this is the time to explore, like, hey, this locomotion thing is now pervading into us in the vehicle, right? Because we use a character controller, it might introduce some issues. If we remove that, we have to take responsibility for that, but that's also like our locomotion. So, I mean, it might be the right time to decide.
what if we use like another set of like on-car movement? When we disable the character controller, we just have a simple joystick based, like no more rocket jump, no more shit like that.
Honestly, that would be the easiest thing, and I think it would be pretty intuitive because I just want to walk around the car. I don't
Yeah.
really want to walk off the car. I might want to jump off the car,
Yeah.
but I don't want to just like
But it-
walk off. So maybe a new way of moving on the car is warranted.
I think
Like,
players would want to do the same shit. They would.
Yeah,
It's just
that's my
natural.
concern.
It's just only natural. It's a sandbox. You're gonna want to do everything. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the version of everything on the car can't be slightly different and that not feel like a feature.
I mean, I think like
So like,
again, the walking off and the edges, that's like to our taste, right? I still think it should be a different system, period, and joystick based, because that's what I do everywhere else. I move with this character controller, or I jump and I fly, right? If those things are consistent, then on the car, I want to do the same two things. It doesn't have to be the same two mechanisms that get me there, but like as long as we give them the same two things, I walk on this car and I jump, I don't think anyone cares really. Like if we use this character controller or not, or parent or not. I think if we get the smoothness, all is forgiven.
well, I think before we even really talk about this further, I think what you need to do is you need to validate that first. Doing parent plus like a purely kinematic locomotion system actually does work the way we want it to. With like multiple people all looking at each other, you know, like I think that's first and foremost. And so we could do is just a very very simple rudimentary like kinematic character controller.
Yep.
You know, that doesn't need to do anything fancy, just moves you, gives you ability to jump, you know, just so that we can get on the car. We
You
disable
should
the
have it.
character.
I have it.
Okay.
It's
Perfect.
in. I think it's in this branch. It's this staging. Just attach it, and you should have it.
I am not on stage.
Oh. Let's see. Can you search up fuck, I forgot the name. Let me look it up. Hang on.
Avatar controller?
Something along the line of that. Search up. Nah, I'll just look at it. Wait.
Any luck?
No, I'm loading my shit. Have to switch French and shit. Give me 1 sec.
But yeah, in general, I think that's a worthwhile approach if it solves the lag. I think it sounds pretty simple. I think to test it is also I mean, we don't have to write anything to test this. It's kind of like we can test it in Inspector pretty quick. But
So no more
yeah,
stabilizer, and we do like a new stabilizer on the camera.
essentially,
But
I think
that would be
we
kind of weird when the car is flipped. You'll see your hands like on the top of your screen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Well,
like off your body.
we can add a stabilizer to the kinematic character controller theoretically, right? Couldn't we just add
I
it like a
think- yeah,
state, like
theoretically.
you're riding the car, you're on the car, so now like any like let's lerp every like upward and downward move. I mean, I guess that would mean every time you jumped and shit. The stabilizer is so elegant in the way that it currently works. That's the thing. It's like such a modular little like component that's very nice. I mean, in this world, we could still add a stabilizer. It now sits under the hierarchy that like you sit under it, right? But with a kinematic character controller, that's totally fine. So like we still have a stabilizer, just the stabilizer is now parented to the car too. Maybe.
Bena, can you look up Rigid Body Dynamic Move Provider?
Damn,
See if it's there.
What did you just say?
Rigid Body Dynamic Move Provider.
I see
Oh,
it.
it's there. Alright, that's the script for Rigid Body Movement.
So
So
But I have
we
to
do need
add
the
a-
input.
yeah.
Yep, okay. Disable the character controller for me.
Wait. So how does this work?
So you need a Rigid Body and a Capsule Collider for it to work.
Got you. Do I put this cap? Okay.
Yeah. For the head transform, everything same as the old script. For the input, it's grab L. Sorry, no. Left hand move, right hand move. Just go to the normal move provider. So expand the avatar local in the hierarchy. Yep, and go to locomotion, move. It's the same left locomotion. Those all the head transform, all these stays the same for the Rigid Body one. There. Right. And then add a capsule collider to the yeah. And yeah, adjust it to be roughly the same as the character controller. It's on the ground right now. The center. Right. That's good enough. Disable the character controller. Go to the rigid body. We have to use gravity. And it can't be kinematic. It has to be non-kinematic. And now you have to disable the other movement provider.
Gotcha.
Disable, yeah, just disable this script. Should be it. You can move, right?
Yeah, hella slow.
Yeah. You can bump the movement speed up.
I can't jump.
Yeah, the jump is a different script.
Yeah, but I have it.
Charge propel is no longer gonna work. That's
Cool.
character control. Yeah, just move yourself to the vehicle first. Sick.
Yeah. I got thrown off.
Yeah, cause yeah, that might intervene with driving. Cause now you're a rigid body. The car is a rigid body.
Oh, I didn't tell
Two
me it was a rigid
collides.
body.
Yeah.
I thought it was
yeah,
a
but like,
kinematic collider.
yeah, like I
controller,
didn't.
dude.
Yeah, this is not what I want.
I mean, for it to be moved in a physics way, it has to be non-kinematic.
Bro.
I guess what I'm saying is on the car, right? Like we need a different movement system.
How
I
did you
think there's a
produce the
very yeah, like there's a very non-physics based system
Yeah.
that we could use
Like,
and we would want to use.
we can just buy
I mean, we
those-
can quickly modify this to make it like a kinematic, moving script. It's
You
some small
can.
changes.
I have
Yeah, just-
to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can vibe code a non-rigid body base, non-nothing. There's nothing on the character. It literally just works with this transforms directly. Confident we can do that. So we can vibe code that real
Yeah.
quick. But alright, no worries. But
I can test that out today. If you
Yes, this
Which
is
branch is
on
this?
my branch. I can push this to
ooh, yeah.
somewhere. What's here is let's check.
My back.
Yeah. So you can jump on the car and it uses local stabilizers.
Yep.
the scene is normal sandbox. I'll push this to staging latest because that's what I've been working with. Shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's something there. I have not pulled, but fuck it. This is our like latest.
Yeah.
Should I make a new branch? I'll just make a branch.
Sure. So I just like get on the car and drag both the local and network player to the car.
So yeah, you could do it in like you can just jump on the car, but yeah, you could drag the people to the car. It should like use the stabilizers. So if you want to get rid of that, vehicle interaction system is where you're gonna want to look, and pretty much enter as driver, enter as passenger. Down
I'm just
here-
gonna do it in the inspector. I'm not gonna touch it for now. We don't even know if it works.
So it does, but if you want to comment out the stabilizer part, right, you could just comment out the stabilizer and then do whatever you want. Because that's where it
Wait,
happens.
why would I want to comment out the stabilizer? I can just drag in an inspector, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're trying to like fix it, or you're just
All
trying
right.
to test something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm literally just trying to test if this thing is indeed the solution. And I can indeed like walk on the thing. Man, a lot has to change on the locomotion with this change.
Well, yeah. Let's just assume it's
The
gonna
entire-
work first. Let's try and get that far.
Yeah.
Bro, what setting? I changed nothing about this. Yo, this is some URP shit. Did you change any URP shit? Should I just live with this?
Huh?
So the one conflict I have, I'm just trying to push this so y'all can fuck with it,
You're.
is this universal render pipeline global setting.
Oh.
I don't think I touched this. Did you?
What's up, Doom?
Probably not.
I mean, does it give a hint at all about what's different?
Fuck. That is not what I wanted. Yeah, it does. Or not really. Whatever the fuck this is. Yeah.
I fuck it. I guess we'll find out. That making me nervous.
I could leave destination.
Yeah.
I could leave us on stage
Yeah.
later. Coolio.
Oh, my freaking back.
My back.
I'm serious, man. I'm turning into like an old man.
No, that was a Spider-Man reference.
I know. It's not good. That's the problem, Doom. I stopped
Alrighty.
exercising because I got sick for
Okay,
like 4 days.
I
So I
gotta-
stiffened up. My back like stiffened
All
up.
right. So
I have like a
This
cramp
new
in
branch-
my right.
is the one I
Rhombus.
hop on.
Main staging latest is what should have the latest
Okay.
for
I'll take
this.
It's brutal.
Yeah, let me know. I should be on in like a few hours.
Wait, isn't it like 10:30 at night,
I gotta go do family stuff, man, and then I gotta work again. Yeah, it's life.
bro?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Bro,
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Go to bed.
This is
wake
my
up
this is my
early.
thing. Like I feel like it's like I check out last week midweek because I like get sick and I'm like tapping out while Ben is just like light work at fucking 3-4 in the morning. Like it's
Fuck
no
it, man.
like it's no
Let's
like
go.
it's nothing.
Let's go. All right, y'all. I really do gotta go. I'll be
Oh,
back.
good, man.
Yeah,
Peace.
go. See ya. Time to check this out. Okay. Push my shit.
It freaking. I might even take an ibuprofen, to be honest. But I've taken so many painkillers over the past, my liver's freaking the fuck out.
I think you gotta stop staying up. That's what you gotta do.
You know what, KT?
Hmm?
You know what? I think
You
you're
know
full of
what?
shit.
that's staying up
And
is
I'm a
killing you.
grown man. I can do whatever I want.
You say that until you're 30 and you have like a fucked up liver and a fucked up fucking heart and just every organ. It's real. I need to fucking get a healthier schedule. I'm trying to work it out. Like, I'm fixing my schedule here. Wake up early, going to bed early. It's the right way. Can't believe we switched to norm core eventually.
Yo! Ibuprofen lasts a long ass time. Let's go. Still got this medical grade shit. 600 millis. Kind of extreme just to knock one of these back. Let's see. Usually I'd go 400,
Chris.
right?
Yeah.
I'd probably go 400 to start. But just knocking back 600.
Bro.
Gonna help with that inflammation a little bit more. Milli Vanillis. Use before 1:14:25. Okay. They probably lost their potency a little bit too, you know, so fuck it.
Downloading 65 packages. What the fuck? What packages?
They're the same packages. I think it's just sometimes they gotta re-download them.
That's gonna take a while.
I'm on my Dr. House shit. Alright, let's hope we don't die. Christ almighty. Oh. Wait, Chris just jumped in here and then dipped?
Yep.
Bruh.
Sounds like it. I'm hungry as fuck.
You were gambling and consistently winning. How were you able to do that?
I always just raise the bet. So say I lose $20,000 on a blackjack hand, and the next one you put down 30,000, and you lose, put down 30,000. And either it ends in devastation, or you're good and you win. So now you're sitting at 90% chance that I win, and there's a 10% chance that I'm fully devastated.
What
and
do
the
I
loss is so
have?
bad that there's a huge problem. So we're just gonna pray that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So
Yet.
yes. But now I got $4 million, and I'm definitely not paying no taxes.
You were gambling and like consistently winning.
So who's number one right now? Is it Devin or Devon? So how big is Devon?
Oh, he is, I think he was just about to look in town. I want to say he's like 6'7". feel like even at Chipotle, if they just call his name to come get his order, he goes out there, he picks it up. He's like, I want to let every illegal alien in this motherfucker know. In 40 days, and with only 90 singing lessons, you can win an American Music Award.
What are we working on, Doom? Today kind of did a bit of a debrief. We had our first alpha test over the weekend, which was lit. Played with a bunch of... Okay, pause. We played the game with a bunch of kids. Holy shit. And we, and it was really good. Like, it went really well. It was a lot of shit broke, but in the kind of the right ways, and so we're kind of doing a bit of a debrief. Our biggest hang up right now has to do with the stability of syncing our vehicle physics over the network, which is an ongoing problem, to say the least. It is always a challenge, and we may be considering a migration to another netcode. This will be the third time that we've done it. Massive overhaul always. Kind of scary to do that kind of thing, especially when we're already in alpha. That's like a crazy thing to do. But considering the scope of our game, realistically, it's not insane. And our game is more of a sandbox. It doesn't rely on necessarily as nearly as many persistent, authoritative systems as it once did. You know, back when we were making Get Set Go, like the round by round sort of turn-based, like not turn-based, but round by round, like economy-based, like real game. That would really require like a lot of overhauling to properly migrate that. But this is much more of like can we get systems that rely on the most basic primitives of the game engine, like physics and a couple of interactions, to run on like a new paradigm, especially when that paradigm's a little bit more simple. It's certainly feasible. It's not ideal. It's not something I'm loving, but it's something we're potentially weighing up. So we've done a bit of a debrief. We've looked at some options, and we're quite strongly leaning towards switching our netcode. And if that ends up being the case, we're kind of game planning how that's going to go, what changes in the scope of the game, what changes in terms of what we're trying to do in the short term, long term. But also we just got to validate that that's the right thing to do. So that's kind of the conversation we were having when you hopped in here, was a little bit about essentially a problem that we're trying to solve, which is when you drive the vehicle, we want other people to be able to ride on it and walk around and all that stuff. So it's just this big ass moving platform. And every client's experience is synced dandy, because obviously each one of them is on a vehicle that's, doing its own thing, yada, 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 right? That's receiving its own timing and everything. The only problem is my network proxy avatar, in terms of everybody else's view, is lagging behind the car. And there's a number of different potential fixes for that. Some are just, simple prediction, but we want more. We have this kind of three-headed problem where we want locomotion on the car and sync and stability. And so we have to kind of work within a couple different systems and predict, and it's been a thorn in our side in adding like a different net code in it. Just changes obviously how that would be done. So we're just trying to work at it like very iteratively. Kind of start from not from scratch, but from first principles with just that sort of system. But yeah.
I've seen this.
It's at the end of the day for me. I play some video games and
I'd like your definition.
and chill out. But yeah, man. Hope you're doing well. How are things going for you?
Yo, pretty good.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, we're just merging some stuff. Well, not merging. We're just testing some stuff.
Dude, my back.
What?
My back.
My back.
Who's back?
It's my back. I like.
Like in real life?
Yes, in real
It's
life.
back.
No, my
He's
back from
back.
carrying your ass in the games today, Chris.
What games today? I don't remember carrying. So yeah, sorry, dude. I wasn't gonna like call went on so long. Like I started at like 9, and then it just ended.
Damn.
I was gonna message you.
That's
Alright,
all good.
I'm gonna-
We're chilling.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do one.
Okay.
So, hop in one.
I'm ready. What's the
Can you
issue?
stream?
So
While I.
essentially, it's not just the admin player. No, everybody's client's experience is perfect.
Alright,
Whether you're
test,
host or
test.
like an actual client,
Watch at the same time.
any of that shit, gorgeous,
Normal.
gorgeous experience. The problem
Where's normal?
is with the
Oh,
like
I can't
if
believe we're switching to
these two
normcore
characters
eventually.
are like players, right? And these are the network versions, right? So you know every player is like the client's player, and then there's like a network proxy, which is kind of like a clone of them, right? Which is what the other
What does your
players
back
see.
work?
And if I have these two players, and imagine these are both like the network proxies, and we're on a car together, like if the wallet is supposed to be the car, you can't even see that. If the tape is supposed to be the car, right? The car is kind of doing this, and the players are like lagging behind the car, so it's like, you know, they're just sort of like lagging. And what we want is we want this, obviously, right? But we also want them to be able to like walk around while this is happening, right? So it's like a moving platform that essentially, at speed, that these network proxies, like the visuals of these players, have to be synced to.
Still muted.
So it's yes, right. So that's because we're switching potentially netcodes that has more of the client just handle the simulation itself. We gain the ability to run potentially more of a real like authoritative client prediction for all the things that are getting synced.
It's got viewers now.
So yeah,
Someone's
it's
asking questions.
it's yeah, that's like what we're thinking about essentially. So yeah, that's kind of the issue, but we're working at it. Because you can also just forward predict as well, which is I'm sure something that we would also do. But it's yeah, so we do have prediction in terms of specifically driving the cars. The challenge is that you have this vehicle, and then you have this moving platform essentially that these people can walk on, right? It adds an extra layer of complexity to the sync, because each client is actually parented to their own local version of that vehicle, so their client experience is rock solid. Like, that one's great. It's their network proxy, the visual, that begins to sort of like lag behind, because we have all these smoothing buffers in place too. You have the player's vehicle and the player's avatar. Yes, yeah. So all the what we're currently going to try is all the network players being parented to the one client, basically. And we think that is going to help with the
You know, Counter-Strike, are you more of a Karambit guy or more
with things for
Butterfly.
Butterfly?
Always.
sure. And
Yeah.
that is
But,
more
hey, I
enabled
don't
by
think
this
Karambit.
new
I'll take
netcode
Karambit
potentially.
any-
But the problem
any
is
day.
we have this thing called a smoothing buffer
They're
that
both pretty good.
that's essentially
It's
this
just Butterfly
middleware, and
makes
it's
you
purely
look
for
cooler.
the accessibility of the experience to make things like smooth and nice for the visuals in VR,
Dude,
which
the
always adds
Counter-Strike
this
market
extra
is
like,
insane right now.
kind of.
Pumping?
Yeah, dude.
I think the way Mario Kart does is using predictive odds. Yes, it is it ends
made
up being
so much
that.
money
Like
off
I'm kind of reinventing the
past
wheel a little
month.
bit, but
It's
it
insane.
always just ends up being like, we're gonna forward predict the person. If they're in a
Yeah.
different position, we'll reconcile, and if not, like, what we'll do is we'll interpolate between those two things. So as long as we can get, like, we're essentially just handling the round trip of information. And as long as we can, like, get within, like, a small enough time window that interpolating between any reconciliation or anything like that doesn't create any visual jumps, then it's totally fine, right? So it's I think we'll end up being fine. But it's also something that we admittedly didn't really work on up until the alpha. Like, we kind of left that because we were working more on predicting the actual driving experience for the clients in a server authoritative world. So, like,
it's the next.
Driving,
wait,
it feels
it's the
like
next
it's
big game, or I thought it was like a session.
No, it's the next game.
Bro.
Knock is the session. I'm trying to get over this game. Like, I
Yeah.
need to-
It's about time.
Yeah, we have to stop.
Okay. There's really only two issues I see with the race, which is dealing with how how attacks work with each other and who wins the race.
Like
so we're actually we're gonna start with the sandbox. We totally ditched the race for the time being, just because our demographic didn't really want it.
I think it's pretty
to
fun,
keep it a
be
stack.
honest.
They were like, we'll try that at some point. But like, let's just start out with a sandbox. So we kind of bought some time to mine that concept
That shit is so
with
toxic.
a more mature, just vehicle sandbox that people can see what they would want in that kind of world.
Match found.
It's a little bit more Twisted Metal, just without combat. It's just like it's just more like we fuck around, we build these cars, we hang out, and we'll just put a bunch of toys in the game to like, you can play car soccer, you can like have these cars fly around, you could change the traction of your shit, you know, give yourself like more or less ooh, I'm losing frames. Jesus Christ. Is that you, Chris? Are you Sova?
Even with numbers, anything can still happen. Remember that.
Fight!
As one.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna... Let me do this better. Okay, I think that's gonna be a little more efficient.
You fought well.
Oh, he's in the game already.
We're doing a
deathmatch.
Oh.
Brother.
Good fuck.
Jesus Christ. Bro!
One dead.
Hey, Chris. Fuck. Oh, I've been muted this whole time, bruh.
Yep.
My bad.
Yep. Phantom?
Ugh.
Nah, Phantom's not it. Gotta go Vandal.
Bruh. I'm gonna get shot with an op, I think.
Opponent killed. Remove. Be at peace.
Bruh. Oof, I fucked that. Oh, it's Captain Olimar. Hickman. Bruh.
Shot.
Olimar. Bruh. Bruh. Bummer.
Dominating.
Enemy removed. Return to dust.
Fucking dude, these damn ops.
10 kills remaining.
It is fun though. Oof. Oh, we have like a couple teamers on here.
Enemy down.
Oh.
Ooh, nice Captain Olimar. Man's goated with the sauce. Oof. That's where this loses. Oof. That's our. Watch this.
5 kills remaining.
Oh,
Saw it.
close.
Takes so long to turn on scope in this game.
But yeah, I think that's the
Can't
idea.
instant scope.
It'd be kind of broken.
1 kill remaining.
Yeah. It has like a fucking animation, like that's wild to me. Like it should be snap.
Well, also the ops, you can't no scope, really.
Yeah, you can. It's
I mean, that's like
so
Counter-Strike,
it's
though.
so bad.
No, but you can no scope in Counter-Strike. The accuracy is still perfect. You just don't have a crosshair.
No, not
It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's much better. So much better than Valorant.
Oh, I thought it was basically perfect. That was the trade-off.
No, it's not.
The Marshall is basically, but yeah, that op.
Match
You can
found.
no-scope
If it's perfect, people will fucking stick something on the center of their screen.
I know, I thought that was the joke.
Nah,
Dude,
it's
yeah,
not
Can
perfect.
you imagine perfect accuracy op, no scope? Good times.
Split? Okay. Chris.
Everyone.
This is my rank up game.
Okay, then we'll win it.
When's that soccer game coming out? June?
Yeah. Unless they pull a GTA.
Then we'll just play GTA.
That they can, no, unless they pull a GTA and delay another year.
Oh.
Oof. Bro, it is hard to play this fucking game in that jacket.
Alright. My one criticism when I was watching for the you and Nikita play, and towards the end, actually it's a couple, I don't know how much shit talk that Raina was doing though.
Oh fuck. How do they allow Jew juggler, bro?
It's easiest if I sneak in and kill everyone.
Maybe he's Jewish.
Don't make this complicated.
I know, like, I feel like isn't Riot like super juggled? isn't Riot like insanely tight with their moderation and shit?
They are.
Like I remember.
I don't say insanely tight, but they are pretty tight.
I remember seeing behind Jew. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But Jew is not a slur, I'm assuming.
Well, it is and it isn't. It's like it's like black. It's like it could become something that like becomes a slur pretty quickly, you know.
Still waiting.
Stay A.
Okay.
They're on site. B. 90 KJ. Raina's back there. Raina back.
Placing sentry.
Last player standing.
Oh,
Bro.
Dramatic rigid buddy.
Yeah, no, KT. What I'm saying is no rigid body at all.
One dream ends.
Yeah, it's literally just moving fucking transform.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, we need rigid body for character.
No, okay. I don't care about what we need right now. Just make
God damn
a
it.
just make a controller that.
You're gonna hate this later.
No. Don't make anything complicated. Just make something that moves left and right.
I know.
Up and down.
I know that's gonna work for sure, though.
I want to see it.
Where are you?
Okay. I'll make it. God damn it. I'm on my broken
Spike
headphone
down
right now.
B.
We have spike.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Main.
All dead? I have more tests to run. Oh, this is a much
So criticisms.
I'm gonna save.
You were saying.
I lied, I'm gonna buy. Oh, during the game?
Yeah.
For you, when you're duelist, because honestly you should have been the best in that lobby. When you're duelist or that passive, you gotta be willing to, you gotta be out there.
We were for a while, and then I just sold for the second half of the game, to be honest. Yeah, I just kind of played like shit.
Where are you?
Damn, this VPN's so smooth. I've not used a smoother VPN for a long time.
Watch it.
Go watch mid. Or I'll dog it.
Bring them down.
Let's go.
Yep.
Up on it, please.
Still in sight.
I'll probably rotate.
find you.
We got one mid.
Marked one.
See that eyeball? See that shit?
I'm gonna anchor A. They're playing mid.
You will not kill my allies.
All right, so we know we know there's at least
30 seconds left.
3 stacked up on that team.
I hear mid still. They're going A.
Here.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
Oh.
One enemy remaining.
She's tagged on site.
Refresh.
I'll stick. They're up.
Team Ace.
Were they born yesterday or something?
Good patience there with the rotates and the anchors.
Nice work, Lon. All of you. Anyone feeling generous?
Not picking anyone. I can.
Chloe, what vandal do you have?
Teşekkürler. Thank
Prime.
you.
Oh.
I don't like that tone.
Sorry.
Where are they?
You should be shitting on Prime.
I just don't play good
I'll
with it.
find you.
Turret out.
Gonna go.
No peeking.
One enemy remaining. We were so close.
Wait, can you get that spade on the ground? Please, thank you.
I reckon I'll take a kip after this. I've earned it.
Just wanted a cool vandal.
Anyone feeling generous?
Roar, can you buy?
Oh yeah.
We need somebody A, guys.
I'm going.
Cutting through.
I love this sport.
Thank you.
Where are you?
Stay anchored. They're going mid. Trying at least. One mid.
Enemy spotted mid.
Alright, I'm rotate. I'm gonna go around you.
Turret destroyed.
Bring them down. Spike planted.
No peeking.
We'll catch them. No charges. Where are they?
Way to swing.
Last player standing.
Way to swing that.
Yeah, I was
It's okay.
tough.
You can save here.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have jumped down and swung it the other way, right? Yeah.
All good though. We're getting a little, like, I think a team is getting a little, like, all, yeah. It's getting a little greedy. Good save, good save. That's on me, KJ. Next
Their
time I should have
teeth will
told you I
chatter
was
in
gonna
the
swing.
cold and dark.
I need a drop.
Quick, how do you spell shekel? Oh, whatever.
Time to work. I'll find you.
Enemy spotted me.
Spike down B.
Stay anchored, stay anchored.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Alright.
You can play mid then. Back in
Yeah.
The hunt begins.
Yatasha. Bring them down.
I'll handle this.
That was retarded.
I'm back.
Spike planted.
Let's go.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go.
KJ, you can get the fuse.
Did Beach Vibe say he's Diamond too?
Huh?
Oh, you turn no, yeah. Did Beach Vibes, is whatever his dude name, say he was Diamond too?
Come here. I did. Again. Their fear is
I
a
actually
trap,
don't
and the
see
trap
enemy
is
chat
fresh.
on Danny's account.
Yeah.
I got money. Need something?
Anyone feeling generous?
Setting muted all up. I got that.
Teşekkürler. Thank you.
I got money. Need something? Quick peek. I got money. Need something?
Where are you?
A side, A side.
Nightmare, take them! Bring them down. Mark, we found one. Bring them down.
Spike down A.
Back like I never
We have
left.
spike.
We'll catch them. No charges.
You had your fun. My turn.
4 in the dark.
One enemy
Go for
remaining.
it. Just do it.
One more. I have 1 HP. He's in the.
Here.
Why don't you go for the ace?
I have 1 HP. I don't care.
Here. Enemy spotted.
Good round.
You are so cutting through.
He's got the fucking skin I want.
If you've never seen a massacre, this is what it looks like.
Telling you, bro, this shit's hot.
The new.
Yeah.
It's not that good, dude. The
I-
animation. I don't know. I got that. I got.
It's clean. It's clean.
Let me see it. You know? Do you have it?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Reloading.
Shoot
It's-
my gun.
yeah, no, I get it, bro, but like, I don't. Nah, this shit's clean. It's low profile too, which I like. It's not. Yours is like covers up half my fucking screen.
Stay anchored.
Yep.
Get orbit.
Yeah, you're gonna get orb.
Enemy spotted me.
You can probably afford the flank here.
You should run.
Gonna hard flank round. Glassy sky above.
Good. My ultimate is ready.
Spike planted.
Enemies. I'll find you.
With you. Get a dog.
One enemy remaining.
Back corner. You have your. Good round.
Reloading.
Let me go. I want to go to the thing.
I don't
Damn
know
it.
if there are 5 of them or 50 of them.
Apparently, if you stand under that thing, you go to like another. You go to the fucking time dimension from Arcane or whatever.
You want mine?
What? What did KJ say?
I don't know.
I'll show them who's a real genius is.
What is dim?
Diamond.
It's definitely not diamond.
I'll find you.
It's making some bullshit.
Oh, unless it's iron, like as in it's dim.
Yeah, like dim and bright. Just anchored.
Is dim like a league, Frank?
No. There's still B, guys.
One enemy remaining.
Okay,
more
fine.
side.
Fuck it.
Still waiting. I'll find you.
Remember, your weapon is only a tool. You can't just shoot. You have to think.
He did get 3 cooked. Like, he literally shot once and killed 2 people.
That's crazy. Got a collat?
No, I don't know what. He shot through a smoke, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Katie, tell me this isn't sexy.
What?
The skin!
Katie, don't watch it work.
Shut up.
I'll find you.
A side,
How
A
much
side.
is it?
Bring them down.
Just this one?
How much is that skin?
Only
Yeah.
$20. Just for the Vandal. For the whole pack, it's like 80, but the knife's pretty cool.
Spike
You bought the whole pack?
No, I didn't, but I'm thinking about it.
Hold.
Yeah.
Bring them
We're
down.
moving on
Yeah,
from
Spike.
Valorant to think about it. Oh, what a kill.
That noise, too, is good.
Full rotate.
That reload? Alright, I'm going. Going high.
I wish Counter-Strike had different sound for
Woo!
weapons.
Okay, they're in. Alright. No. I think they like.
Just anchor.
Yeah, they're going back. 'Come on.
30 seconds
Okay,
left.
maybe not. Yep, sorry, my bad.
I'm coming. Just buy time.
Spike planted.
Neon stopped. Where are you?
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
He's in the court. Just wait for me.
One enemy remaining.
Don't. I don't know how I ended up getting that.
Yeah. Whatever. It's all good.
Get it? Actually,
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, I should get it.
My ult is ready. Push a button. Save the day. Easy.
Get that Guardian! No!
Guardian.
I'm sorry.
Bro.
I'm so I don't.
Yeah, I want my skin,
Hey,
bro.
that meme of that person that like freaks out and then says, "I don't need to be so excited." Hey, do you remember?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Do you know that meme?
I don't, and I think you
Oh,
hung yourself out
God.
there.
I hung
Have a good
myself
one,
out
Doom.
for this. Never mind. But that was the energy you gave.
Where are you?
I was so distracted with my classic, I forgot to browse.
Do you want me to ult?
No.
I need help. I'm gonna die.
Okay.
Wait. I can smoke it off.
Drop in a smoke.
KJ, go to my body. Pick up a gun.
I'll find you.
Alright, they are there.
Bring them down.
It's 2v2. You win this.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Spike down B.
Take hold.
Thirty seconds left.
She's got it, so.
Yeah. You play time. Oh, you hear man.
Oh, is it?
Man.
I'll find you.
Yeah, that prime is really pretty cool.
Last round before the switch.
Last round to use our creds and abilities. Don't waste your firepower.
I don't like Prime, okay?
I feel attacked.
I like the way like the ammo is inserted into the gun. I just don't like the gun.
Pause.
No, like I could.
Hey,
like
get your
the,
mind
like
out the gun.
Hey, yo.
Like the light strip, like the light.
First, you don't
thing.
answer me when we're talking about my favorite games. Next, you're making some crude jokes.
Where are you? Still waiting.
Look at that, KT. Look at that shit. See that? Beautiful. Alright. Let me get my ult out.
I prefer your baseball bat.
Oh, dude, Rourke, are you swinging with me? No. My fault.
It's okay.
Take them!
Last one's mid.
See that shit, KT? See that nice little two-piece?
Switching sides.
I'm gonna.
I did.
Deep breaths, everyone. You're
Chris
hard.
keeps thinking I'm selling him all the time.
Okay, you know what?
Who wants my classic?
I'll stream. No, I'm not gonna stream. Just assume. Oh shit. My game
Chris
crashed.
thinks I'm selling him all the time.
You are selling me 90% of the time.
Nah.
When I'm up here,
You're
and
selling
I'm
yourself.
swinging,
You're selling
why are you
yourself.
Not swinging with me?
You're selling
Why are we
yourself.
Not swinging together?
Wait, can I get that ghost action?
Sometimes
Point,
you gotta.
like, if once I
gotta
die,
sell.
of course it's easy to kill because they're all running away.
Clips.
Careful here.
Nah.
Careful here.
Nah, you just sold yourself.
You sold yourself.
Chris is like swinging every corner and then being like, I'm across the map. And he's like, why are you selling me?
What are you? Oh my god, that's across the map.
I'm like across the map, turned around, shooting at somebody else. And he's like, why are you selling me?
Reloading.
You liar.
Strikes down.
Sleep. One enemy remaining.
Yo, did KJ sell you on that one?
I didn't die.
Yeah, but do you think she was?
Sell.
Do you think she was still selling you there? You know, just because.
It's the Counter-Strike equivalent of saying you're blocking me when I'm like miles away from you. Stop blocking me.
Okay, this game, you sold me one time. Every other time you're doing pretty good. You're anchoring, all that, but you did sell me there.
I don't think I saw. I think you had your smokes out. You had your smokes out. I saw it. I saw your hands up. You had your smokes
I
out,
had my
just
gun out.
naked in mid, just like, oh yeah, assuming they're not gonna shoot at you.
Reloading.
Decoy.
Down.
Enemy spotted.
Line to clear.
Night, night.
Gun here. Gun here.
Reloading.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Here.
Oh, backside, 16.
One enemy.
See, did I sell you there? Did I sell you there?
Did I say you sold me there?
Did
or
I
say
did I sell
nothing
you?
at all?
Or did you just sell yourself? Did you just sell yourself? Is that what happened?
That's not selling myself. That's me doing an ego peek
Match
and dying.
point.
Yeah. See, now that there's witnesses involved, now that there's witnesses involved, the truth comes out.
I need a drop. Reloading.
I'm gonna need somebody's Vandal. I don't like mine.
I need a drop.
I can't give you this.
Don't let them
What?
get up. Reloading. I need a drop.
I'll find you.
Wait, I just gave. I gave you my gun. There. Yoru, I gave you my gun. Don't crash out.
Reloading.
Decoy.
You also have a Vandal.
Bring them down.
Time to jump.
Clove, you have a Vandal.
Tip. Turret out. Enemy spotted. Hold. Swarm grenade. No charging. Swarm grenade out.
Oh, Clove, you have the bomb! Chris! Chris!
I'm just trying to get kills.
I'll find you.
One enemy remaining.
Spike planted.
Reloading.
GG.
Flawless.
Bro, I actually didn't die for like half of that game. That's actually kind of nuts.
It sounds like a tendency of someone who sells his
No,
teammates.
no. It sounds like somebody who should
Did
be.
you get your rank up, sir?
I think I did. Let's see. Let's just make sure. You're silver 3. We are very close. We are very close. Do I get a rank shield per, like, I do,
No,
no.
I don't think so. I think it's only for...
The bottom. Yeah.
What was that?
To the next lower rank. Shields are granted when you're at the lowest tier of your rank. You're right. So you better not lose this game by a shitload. Oh, no. You have to lose 2 in a row, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They should do better than Yoru. This game.
Wow, Wisdom didn't get invited to the fucking Met Gala? That's criminal. Criminal. Wisdom K? The dude's like probably the most insane fashion influencer known to man. He's also younger than me. He's 23. 22, 23. And he makes like 5 mil a year.
Match
Dude's dope.
found.
Dude is
Not,
goated.
He needs more Instagram followers, clearly.
Nah, he's goated. He's
like
busting
8
it.
million.
He's busting it down sexy style. And he's goated with the sauce. Oh no! You know what that means? What a nightmare!
It's your RR, dude. That's all I'm saying.
That sounds like the attitude of somebody who sells himself.
Hey, I'm just saying. Top frag, MVP, he's very, very consistent, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you see how many deaths you had there? I don't know. Just saying, you know.
I did. Alright, I might dual smoke here.
Let's just go Reyna. Well, you don't trust Omen?
No, I don't trust the Omen.
Trust and believe. Trust and believe.
No, dude.
We can dual
Omen
smoke.
smokes
We
they're
can dual smoke.
really hard to use. Omen smokes?
Yeah.
People like don't. You know how you have to you have to shoot it, you gotta aim it.
Because and then it's gotta fall down and shit.
Yeah, and it's gotta get there. Like people don't know how to use it correct. And then the smokes leave gaps, and then we just get fucked up from a gap.
Yeah.
Or they teleport and they get shot in the face or something.
Hawking Tuas. Rock on.
Shit. I hate a duel like this. Silver, probably fresh accounts. Dual fucking
Chicken
duelist,
muncher.
also fucking bullshit.
So, are we gonna talk about the empty locker back at base? The one with the scratched out 8? Anyone? No one? Okay.
Now we wait.
We're gonna get your account to gold this week, Rourke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even worried about it. It's just a matter of good habits.
Why put the wall here? Honestly, I respect it.
That's a good wall,
Right
though.
here.
Yeah.
Right
So
here.
it's for the rotate, I guess.
Yeah, so they don't have flank.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
Yeah. Give me the bump.
Okay. You don't like my speed?
I do like your speed, but we need you alive.
Bro, I'm gonna die
Blinding prep.
instantly. Alright. Ooh.
Enemy spotted.
Reloading.
Drone going out.
Two on at least.
Yeah, 3.
All missiles away.
Go,
I mean,
go, go!
we can rotate here, guys.
This way!
One.
Reloading. Out of go, go, go! Shit.
Ooh. Corner.
Two more on site. 3 on
Spike
site.
down A. One enemy remaining.
Good round.
Word. I don't know how that worked out in the end, but it worked out.
Hard commit.
Ability, dedication, time. That's all we need.
Thoughts on C long here? Just because we have the gun advantage.
Now we wait.
Thoughts on thoughts? Yes.
Oh man, you can do the closer smoke.
I don't think I have thoughts, Loki.
I'll do link and backside.
Now we wait.
Dropping smoke.
Locating target.
Cypher set up here, guys.
Class place.
I have good news, Rourke.
What's that?
It works.
Heads up.
It works. Like, moving on the car, smooth, with no lag behind. Both the network buddy and the local buddy. They're synced.
Well, that is dope. We will check it out with a couple clients just to make sure, but that sounds very encouraging.
It sounds like rework.
Yeah, but also no, potentially. We just know what world we're living in.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
You know, I still.
Last garage, guys.
Gotta go.
I'll let you finish the game, but
I'm
I
gonna
lean
let you
towards a vehicle movement mode instead of reworking the entire fucking avatar.
Yes, if we can, yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like there's a way where we can make it feel like a feature and not a bug, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think there is, yeah, we can definitely do that. I think, so we can talk about that more. Let's just, we'll, whenever you feel good, you know, push up whatever you have. We can, I know you'll obviously be gone tomorrow, but we'll run it.
Yeah. Like, wait, like, the reason I bring it up is we're gonna switch hand modes anyways. Like, this could be one of the modes, like, vehicle mode, you know?
We can play B, I can
Well,
smoke
yeah, it should just, okay, you know what, one sec.
Locating targets. Gotta go.
Planning for
I'm
Omen.
out of here.
Omen, you can cap there. Garage door.
My ult is ready. Coming through. Watch out. I'm out of here.
Oof. Rain on site.
Target down.
Nice.
One enemy remaining.
Reload. Chris, reload.
Okay.
7 bullets. Alright.
Drop in a smoke.
It's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough. You need one.
But yeah, KT, to your point, I mean, like, yes, it should just be something that, like, enables itself when you get on the vehicle, basically, and maybe we can add in, like, cool little inertias, you know, and stuff like that, kind of, because we have full control of the character in that way, you know, climbing, stuff that, like, could be benefited from, like, that a little bit more control.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Meanwhile, I'll try to make this better and push it. Because right now it's I'm moving shit. I'm moving shit in the inspector. You know that. And there's no jump.
Oh. Flank. Chris.
Player standing.
My bad.
Alright, I'm gonna go to lunch. You guys have fun. I'll catch you guys.
How'd they flank us so hard?
It was just Jet, and I fucked up the clutch, to be honest. Well, Omen fucked up the clutch, and then I fucked up the double clutch. Ooh!
KO 120. so you can grab bomb.
30 seconds left. Spike. Retrieving flash.
This Vice. She knows business.
Wall trip.
Nice.
10 seconds left. Spike planted. Flash placed. Rip and tear.
So apparently Vice is like crazy good because those thorns last a super long time.
Thorns activated.
So it stalls lanes forever.
My ultimate's ready. Bring me the arsenal! One enemy remaining. 3 down.
That's making me nervous.
Oh!
That was making me nervous.
Fucking rat. That's not even on you. What a fucking rat.
Thrifty.
Yeah, because I knew she came from flank.
Don't be spending too
Well,
many
somebody had
days
to.
figuring them out.
So she was probably the one.
Overthinking is just
But damn, that was
as bad as
heroic.
underthinking.
Now we wait.
We can do fast speed with neon wall and my smokes.
Do you want me to go through window or?
Yeah, let's go through window.
Okay. All right, who's selling who in this scenario? Just so I know ahead of time.
Just throw the wall and I can die. Swing together.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
Dropping smokes.
Wall?
This way. I'm out of here.
I got right side.
I'm out of here.
Going out.
Launching thorns. Further line.
One suppressed.
Joke's over! You're dead!
This one begins. Enemy spotted. A.
Reyna, flank.
There. Last player standing.
Back like I never left.
3 down. 1 enemy remaining.
I think Teo was, yeah. I didn't know, but it sounded, I didn't know if he got off of it.
I demand what I'm owed.
That was a hell of a stick. I don't know what the fuck that was. We have neon ult. Maybe we default here, guys. Just get a pick. They are pretty aggressive.
Now we wait.
Get out of my way.
Oh! Who's watching Flame?
I'm out.
Okay.
I know exactly where you
Heaven
are.
and back link.
Dropping smokes.
Pretty sure Taylor's dead.
Thorns activated.
Spike planted.
Wow.
I can't
Dude,
use that.
That was a
What
sell.
kind of bullshit was that?
Taylor's double.
I can't use that.
One heaven, one link. They know I'm here.
Go ahead. Stand your ground.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
80 tail. One on.
One enemy
Come on,
remaining.
Cloud.
This.
Ultimate's ready. Back me into a corner.
Let's go, Cloud.
Right.
That's what happened.
Cloud's right over here.
Do what you're here to do,
and we won't have a problem.
That's straight Fortnite. Let's default again.
Wait,
Just
did he?
watch for the jet. I feel like there's
Somebody, he had a shotgun. Where is it?
I can buy you clothes.
I'm so confused. Where did that magical shotgun go? I guess he bought something else. So.
I got the spike.
What do you want? I can.
one sewer.
I can ult in.
Gotta go.
We can go see. I can smoke.
Yep.
Drop in a smoke.
Watch out, Cypher.
This way.
Cover going out. Located target.
Here we go.
One suppressed.
Shocking.
Cover garage. Yeah.
Almost out.
Oh. 2 garage.
Like I never left. I'm back for good. My ult is ready.
One enemy remaining.
Let's go, guys. Holy shit.
Fight till the end. No matter what. Who needs a buy? Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Yeah, you should sell and let Clove buy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Need a drop. Gotta go.
Watch there's always a sewer.
I lost my
A sewer rat over here.
I'm out of here. Take
Gotcha.
it out.
I got it this time. I got it.
Oh, like please get.
I'm out of here. We're good.
Alright, smoke's up. Smoke's up. One in garage.
Spike planted. Go, go, go. Watch out. Gotta go. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Last one was
Right
Link.
here.
Flawless.
Good
Go,
round.
go, go. Reloading.
I feel no empathy for them. What does that say about me? Don't answer. It was rhetorical. Now we wait. Let's kill this competition.
One down.
Gotta go.
Drone going out.
Take this. Coming through. I'm out of here.
Barrier is down.
Spike down A.
Reno was last minute.
Okay, I'm gonna smoke it off so you can grab it, okay?
I got the spike. Spike drop. Spike.
30 seconds left.
You can go straight to C, Omen.
Bet.
Watch them run.
Side C.
Last player
Fuck.
standing.
40. What's backside?
All missiles away.
I smoke man.
Go ahead.
One enemy remaining.
Ground.
He's on it. Oh, NT guys. Fucking NT. I had to kill Teo.
Yeah, it was tough. That was good though.
Remember, I hit them with explosives, then you go in. No la vayan a cagar.
Fast B.
I'm out of here.
Get a plant off and then I'll have ult.
Go, go, go!
Same smokes and we'll go in with neon wall. Whenever you want to entry.
Yep. Yep.
Rip and tear.
Go.
Dropping smoke. Coming through! Go, go, go!
You're checking right or left? Are you going
Right.
to right or left? Cover me.
Take this! Planted. Gotta go! My ultimate is ready. I'm out of here.
One garage still. Sniper garage.
Fuck.
Others are alive.
That's a kill.
Teo.
Right here.
On the right. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Refreshing. Back like
One enemy remaining.
Teo's hit one
Good round.
around.
Good round. I didn't need a bust ult. I trusted you guys. I just muscle never.
Speak up
Think
and
I'll
ask
stay?
questions. Assumptions will only get us in trouble.
Default
Gotta
again?
go!
Guys can keep backpacking us.
Robin?
I said you can keep backpacking.
Nah, it's not even like that.
Get on with it!
2C.
Spike down
Good
A.
trade.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Cross smoke.
Backside, backside, backside.
No peeking! Our spike carrier's down.
Spike down C.
Refreshing.
One enemy remaining.
That's 3.
He's on site.
Go ahead. Stand your ground.
Good shit. Holy fuck.
Not ready yet.
Last round in the half.
Spend everything.
I need to buy. Go, go, go!
Go prime, dude.
Sure. Alright, no, just requests and all. Ah,
Okay.
never mind.
I mean, why? We're gonna throw away a perfectly good gun here?
Yeah, fair enough.
Just kill the camera.
Yep.
Get out of my way!
She's on me. This is B. We're rotating out A. 3 A sides.
Go, go, go!
So, alright?
What?
Oh, ultimate's ready.
Yep.
Let's go C right now.
Alright.
Gotta go! I'm out of here! Shortcut!
ammunition.
Bowman has flank out garage.
Bone is down.
One enemy remaining.
Watch out!
On me.
The ultimate is ready.
Good shit. Good half, boys.
Go, go, go!
Switching sides.
That Jet is all speed, no skill. She's mine. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Go, go, go! Gotta go! Gotta go!
Mid. Phoenix here too.
3 mid.
Spike planted.
All missiles away.
One in window.
One enemy remaining.
Last one window.
Good shot.
I have smoke in 5.
Reloading.
Good round.
I don't lose.
This should be simple enough. I flush them out, you finish them.
I'm out of here. Go, go, go! I'm gonna buy. I'm out of here. Gotta go.
BB 2.
Watch out. This way.
Cover going out.
See.
Go, go, go.
Wall trick.
65 in there.
Grenade is live.
Go, gotta go.
Guardian on my body.
Pick up guard.
I'm out of here.
They might be rotating.
Reloading.
Gotta go.
Teo and Cubby.
One enemy remaining.
Copy.
Team Ace.
Good shit.
Got me here. We did that.
Sheriff.
Lola, I know you'd be proud.
Control the space. Control their choices.
Anybody got an extra pistol? That's good.
We have sheriff for you.
Right here.
Yeah. Right.
Launching force.
Teo window.
They shot my drone.
I'm not flashing.
I hear some C.
Go, go, go.
Not wall back there.
I'll anchor A, guys.
Coming through.
Enemy
spotted.
Take this.
C.
Kill.
Spike down. C.
C long.
Go, go, go.
Do we have spike?
No.
We do. We have spike.
Oh, never mind. I lied.
We just hold, I guess.
One enemy remaining.
Alright, ego peek. He's C long.
I'm gonna try to find. It's there, right?
30 seconds left.
Around. Did she come up the smoke tail?
No, I just shot and it killed her.
Match point.
All
Their
right.
spirits are broken.
I'm
Let's
out of
attend
here.
to the rest.
They have to go A eventually, right?
Rip and tear. Flash placed.
One A.
Gotta go.
It looked like this right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
Nope, two.
Get out of my way. Never left.
Watch it on switch.
All missiles away.
Oh, that jet was out to get me. It's A push. Nice. Save your smokes, Omen. Save your smokes. Oh, never mind. It's my fault. All good. That jet, by the way, baited the shit out of their Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Planning B, planning B.
Yeah, I can tell that they're doing. Like, Phoenix just
Spike
ran
planted.
in.
Last player standing.
No more meddling.
Give me this. Yeah. That was tough, that was tough.
They brought weapons made of metal to kill me.
Ironic.
Go, go, go. Gotta go.
I can half by here if we want to.
That's good. No, we're chilling. Probably better if I run shoddy here.
I'll show them. Lintik
I'll
kayo.
zero by here.
All missiles away.
Phoenix might be hell or sewer.
This is mid.
I smoked window. One mid.
Yeah, jet was mid.
You wanna flank it with your work?
Yep.
I'll bait you. Or I'll bait me.
Bye bye.
Nice.
My ult's ready.
Did you pick up my vandal though?
Pulling up from,
Oh, you did.
Here we go.
Neon has it, Neon has it.
One enemy remaining.
Neon has it.
Spike down mid.
C, go C.
He's hit 99.
You got him, Neon. GG.
You had it coming.
That's a good game.
Defenders win.
Ugh.
Their sake, I'm glad it's over.
Slid into 1.0 at the very end. Slid into even.
That's true, that's all that matters. That's, you know? I got motivated by that Phoenix baiting for their jet.
Yeah.
Probably got a bunch there, right?
Yeah, 21. So I'm 30,
Okay,
a
nice.
third of the way there. Third of the way in the home stretch.
Damn, you're 31. Holy shit, yeah. Alright. GG. Got a lot
GG.
done.
Yep.
I will see you tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow.
12:30.
Bright and early. Later.